Hello and welcome to Lesson 6 of the Creative Online School's Mastering Adobe Lightroom course. In the last tutorial, I taught you about correcting your colors in Lightroom. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about the Lens Corrections tool. I'm going to show you how to use Lightroom's automatic profile corrections and the manual lens corrections option. I will also give you a brief overview of how to perform more extensive distortion corrections using the Transform tool. This lesson is brought to you by Creative Online School. Most lenses add distortion to images. Each lens is built with a different profile that makes it interpret data differently from the next lens. Because lenses are turning a very dynamic setting into a flat image, they can sometimes stretch the image and, in doing so, cause distortion. Sometimes, distortion takes form of a vignette or darkened, shadowy corners. Another form of distortion is chromatic aberration. This happens when your lens is unable to focus all of the image's colors to the same convergence point. Chromatic aberration adds weird color fringes to edges that separate light and dark colors. These fringes tend to have a green, pink, or purple hue. Lens Corrections is a Lightroom tool that helps you fix aesthetic issues caused by your lens. This little tool can help you cure problems such as chromatic aberration, vignetting, and perspective distortion. Let's try it out. I want to work with this photo because some of the building lines are a bit wonky. Choose the photo you want to work with and head for the Develop module. It's a good idea to make sure you've applied any necessary cropping and straightening to your photo before starting on your lens corrections. That way, you'll avoid some confusion later on when you're editing the structure of your photo. Scroll down to the Lens Corrections pane. It's located underneath the Detail tab. You can correct lens distortions automatically by selecting the Profile tab on the left-hand side, or you can do it yourself in the Manual tab on the right-hand side. Let's start with the Profile corrections. To get Lightroom to do your lens corrections for you, check Enable Profile Corrections. If you're happy with the results, then you don't really need to do much else. But if you think that Lightroom has gone a little overboard or has not done enough, you can further tweak the perspective distortion and vignettes using the sliders below the lens profile lists. I'm pretty happy with the changes Lightroom made to my image, and my lens didn't really make a vignette, so I can leave that be. A few moments ago, I mentioned chromatic aberration. In this photo, the tower's balustrade does have some weird color fringes around the edges. Let's go in and get a closer look. Do you see those color speckles? When I check the Remove Chromatic Aberration box, they go away, and in turn, that part of the image is sharpened. Now let's look at the Manual tab. Use the top slider to correct any perspective distortion. Checking the Constrain Crop option will prevent Lightroom from creating a white background on your image. You can then change the chromatic aberration settings using the next set of sliders. My color fringe is pink, so I'm going to make it more blue. You can also use the Color Fringe Selector tool instead of the sliders. Just click on the eyedropper icon above the chromatic aberration sliders and click on the fringes you need to correct in your image. Lightroom will do the work for you. And if your image needs even more distortion correction, just head down to the Transform pane just below Lens Corrections. In this pane, you can make changes to specific types of distortion manually and automatically. You can change the vertical distortion, the horizontal distortion. You can rotate your image. You can change the aspect, the scale, the X offset, and the Y offset. Congratulations! You should now feel comfortable fixing distortion using Lightroom's lens corrections and transform tools. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and we will get back to you as soon as possible. In the next lesson, I'm going to teach you how to remove unwanted objects from your photos using the Spot Healer. This course is brought to you by Creative Online School.